Amir Alwani from PotentNews.com. I'm here with Andre from Truth.
What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got some questions for you. I'll just put the camera on you so I know what I'm doing here. All right. Number one, what made you decide to call your band Truth?
Well, the word truth is a very powerful word, as you are probably aware. So for us, it had a lot of meaning behind it. And with our music, we try to keep our music very truthful, very pure, very simple, very organic sounding. And we just thought the name really suited the sound that we do. And there was nobody else called Truth, so we snapped it up.
That leads me to my next question. Were you surprised that the name was not already taken, or was that expected given how much of a lie most people live?
Oh mate, for sure. We were really surprised. When we came up with the name, we thought surely somebody else has got the name Truth, and we searched the internet. There was nobody on there with the name Truth. We couldn't believe it, being such a powerful name, so we snapped it up straight away.
Right. So your song titles include Syria, Gaza, and Surveillance Society.
Yep.
You seem to be able to spot the level of tyranny that we all live under. Is there any particular issue you find yourselves gravitating to at this time? Or I guess yourself, because you're here right now.
Yeah, for us, we're deep into our conspiracy theories, and we're all about seeking the truth, the real story behind things. It's a crazy world that we live in, and we feel like there's a lot of hidden agendas out there. There's a lot of, I don't know if you'd like to go to the full extent of saying evil forces, that are out there, and they're manipulating us and controlling, installing fear into society, and in turn, they're working to their own agendas. And for us, our music, although it's non-political in every way possible, it's also pushing a message, which is basically, read between the lines. Don't just listen to what they tell you. There's more than meets the eye, and don't always believe the official story, because there's a lot of shit going on out there that they don't want you to know about.
It is quite a bit of stuff. It's just it's hard to know where to start to tell people to look at this or look at that, because it's all so connected in a way. Anyway, number three, you have toured many countries around the world. Which was your favorite and why?
It's a really tough question. I've played a lot of really awesome places. I'm not just saying this because we're in Canada, but I honestly can say we really love touring Canada. It's a great country. It's one of my favorite places to play. The crowds are so receptive, really welcoming people, very friendly, and it reminds me a lot of New Zealand, where I'm from back home. So Canada's definitely one of my favorite places. As far as cities go, we love playing in places like Barcelona and Spain, London, Berlin, places in the States like LA, San Francisco, Denver, Colorado is awesome. So I could go on forever about all the amazing places, but Canada's definitely right up there with what we do.
Bathroom and confidentials. I see, I get it.
Alright, so number four, many people keep telling me to not have any clipping in my tracks at all. I had a good friend who stressed this for months, and he would constantly say that clipping in your wave file is something you never want to see happen. But it seems to me that an overwhelming amount of my favorite artists do have clipping in their songs, you guys included if I'm not mistaken. My current take on this is, if it sounds the same to me with clipping versus without, then who really cares? What is the issue in these loudness wars? People tell me clipping damages your speakers, but I don't see how it would do that if you just turn the volume down a bit. Am I missing something here?
I think there's a difference between pushing all the levels much too loud, like a lot of producers do, and pushing it to a maximum overall frequency that still has that subsonic range, that's still really has that dynamic sound, but is nice and loud and clear. Because there's nothing worse than as a DJ mixing in a tune and it's too quiet, and at the same time it's horrible mixing in a tune that's really compressed and sounds pushed and squashed. So we try and find that balance. It's all about finding the balance, and every producer has their own kind of sound, and some say our stuff is quite loud, but we try to balance all the levels out as much as we can without making it sound too compressed.
Okay. Are you guys familiar with the 432 hertz tuning?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard about it. I mean, I'm not too familiar. No. I mean, I've spoken to people about it, but we don't use that theory. Yeah, we don't. We just basically sit in the studio and we mix it until it sounds good to us. We try not to prescribe to any particular formula.
Yeah. Well, I just brought it up because apparently some people say whales have been found to sing in this tuning.
Yeah.
And healers and things like this.
Yeah, and the Buddhist monks even when they meditate they hum in that frequency. I think it's really interesting stuff, but with our music we don't try and reach that certain we don't try and, I don't know how to put it, but yeah, I'm aware of the theory, but yeah, well, it's interesting, but it's not like something that we use when we produce music. Yeah.
Well, it is interesting to think about because I just found out about it recently, and I mean, I'm not going to chuck out decades of amazing music just because it's in a different tuning.
Totally.
But anyway, I'll just go on to the next one. Number 6, you sometimes see guitar players and drummers breaking their equipment on stage on purpose.
Yeah.
Is that something you guys would ever do, or would you donate that equipment to fans you've influenced who could really use it so they can be further empowered to help raise awareness and heal people with massive vibrations?
Yeah, I mean, we're not rock stars like that. We don't like smashing equipment, man. Like, I've had the same computer for years. We're all about that old school kind of low tech sound, and yeah, we don't smash gear, man. We'd rather give it to people that appreciate it.
Excellent, right on. So, is there anything about the electronic music culture that rubs you the wrong way, or is it all great? Or
yeah, I mean, the main thing that rubs me the wrong way is when corporations invest in artists and they buy fucking likes on Facebook and followers on SoundCloud, and I don't like that artificial the way they'll bring an artist up like that in that artificial manner, and it seems like the whole EDM scene, there's a lot of that going on, and I don't like that approach. I'd rather see an artist evolve organically, and see their fan base grow because people genuinely love the music, not because of how many likes they have on Facebook. So yeah, that's my only problem with it. As far as electronic music goes, I think people should be free to do whatever they want, and it's all a matter of opinion of what's good and what's not. Yeah.
Why do you think electronic music seems to be exploding these days? It's so popular. Do you think it's partly that? The fake?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's partly that, but it's also just because it's the sound of the times. The sound reflects how people feel in society. The whole reason techno evolved, it came out of the industrial cities. Places like Detroit and places like Berlin. That's where that electronic sound evolved. And for me personally, I think it's because of the factories and the noises that people were surrounded in. and I guess like that has, you know, since spread, and it's a reflection of the times. You know, it's that futuristic sound. And what's exciting about electronic music is there's no boundaries. You know, you can create any sound. You can synthesize bass lines. You're not restricted to one particular instrument, or you know, you can make a guitar sound on the computer. You can make your own drums. So the possibilities are endless, and that's what makes it so exciting. You know?
Okay, well, one last question. For people like me who are familiar with, like, I'm a producer, I'm familiar with Reason and Ableton. I've been using those for years.
Cool.
But I'm sort of hesitant to get into the hardware world. Like, I want to play a show, but I don't want to get there on the stage and just press play on the you know, the laptop or anything. So what would you recommend for hardware, or anything you could say about hardware?
Yeah, I mean, with hardware, we use a lot of hardware in the studio. We collect vintage synthesizers, and that's just because we think they make an amazing sound that a VST plugin can't replicate. You know, there's nothing like a synthesizer that's been sitting there for years with dust building up inside, with the coils and the grunty noise it can make. You know, it's got a mood of its own. So, in that respect, like, yeah, there's nothing that can quite match that analog sound. You know.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being on PotentNews.com.
Wicked, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you, and I hope to have you back in Ottawa soon.
I hope to be back. Big ups. Cheers.
All right. Peace.
Sweet.